Alright YouTube, we back with another video. In this video I'm going to be showing y'all how I got the frame back, how I put everything back together, the suspension back on, the rear end back on, how I ran my new gas lines, brake lines, then set the motor back on and eventually got the body set back on it. So y'all just stick with me.
What the fuck these niggas talking about? What the fuck these niggas talking about? Might be just we the only love. Try to hit a lick on me, I put your tongue, that's your mouth from the field, but I still know some thugs in the south. And I'm
Alright y'all, so at this point, I got the frame back. It's sitting in the garage. I went ahead and put the rear end on first because it's a little easier, and that way if I can get the rear end put on it, I can put the wheels on it and have it supported by that instead of the jack stand. So I went ahead and set the rear end up first, put the rear differential on, set up all the coil springs, the trailing arms. I had to do some adjustings to make sure they're sitting right in the middle of the wheel well in the back. So I had to adjust that's the benefit of getting rear adjustable trailing arms. You need those if you're running big wheels, so you can have the wheel centered in the wheel well right, so that way you can move it back and forth. So after I got those adjusted just by eye, I knew I was gonna have to adjust them after I got the body set back on. It was gonna move up or move forward, so I just did it by eyesight first and got everything set up in the rear, and then moved to the front. I got everything set up, the coil springs, the hub assembly. Then I went to the rotors, which is, if anybody's ever done coil springs and all of that, it's a dangerous job. You gotta press those coil springs together and get them set back in there in between the lower and upper control arms. And so you got to compress that as far down as you can and then set it up in there. I don't have no video of none of that, but that's why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it, to get y'all caught up to speed on where I'm at. But some people know about coil springs and all of that. And again, I did an upgrade later. I'm going to show y'all that later. I now have QA1 all on there. I'm going to get up underneath there in a minute and run y'all through my gas lines because I don't have no video. But so I got into getting the whole front end set up, the hub assembly, the rotors put on it, and then I was eventually able to get the wheels on there. What I wanted to do was get get everything put on, all the suspension put on, then put the 28s on it so I can have it sitting up and get out from up underneath them jack stands. I don't like being up underneath cars with them jack stands. And the benefit of having big wheels is sometimes, depending on the job you're doing, you don't even need a jack or put your car on jack stands. You can just slide up underneath there. So anyway, I got the tie rod ends on, the sway bar, all the suspension for the front end. I finally got the gearbox hooked up to it. And finally got the wheels put back on. And that process took me probably the whole day. I think I started around 11, right before noon. And I think I worked on it all day until that night. Like it was hectic, but at the same time, I like doing this type of shit. It's fun. It's good to have hands on. Plus, at the end of the day, when I get done with my car, it's something I built on my own. So everything's done except for, you know, the interior and the paint. And the next day, I got up. I wanted to set the motor and the transmission on, get everything hooked up. Took me pretty much, you know, the whole day. Mind you, I'm doing this by myself. Like the motor on a cherry picker or a hoist, if you will, and I'm pushing it, setting it on there by myself, putting it, lining it up on the motor mounts. That's the benefit too of not having that body set on there. You can just drop that motor and that transmission on there together and just put it all on there in one piece, which was kind of easy. It was just hectic because I was trying not to scrape or scratch up my frame, but I eventually got it set on there. Now once I bolted up the motor mounts and got the motor locked in place, got the cross member and the transmission bolted together, I got into starting to run my lines. Now I told y'all I was gonna run, or I did run my own gas lines and my own brake lines. In this picture, you can see the old lines, and that's only there as a mock-up, just so I can get the new line and bend it accordingly. And I bought the whole kit. All right, now I don't have no more of the gas line because I used it all, but this is the crimping tool that you use to bend the lines, the brake lines and the gas line. This is what I use to get, I'm gonna get up underneath there and show y'all what I was able to do. It's not the best crimping, like I said. I am gonna do a brake upgrade. So all of this is temporary. It's just to get the car put back together and get it running, and then I'm gonna snatch out, well, I'm not gonna snatch the gas line out, but I'm gonna eventually redo my brake lines. Here is, I bought too much brake line. This is the brake line. I don't know if y'all can see it in this package. I'll try to get a piece of it out. Hold on. So here's the brake line. All you do is set it in this crimping tool and it bends however you want it to bend. So I made my own brake lines, crimped them, put the ends on them, and made my own gas line. Now, one thing I learned is I didn't want all that, I don't know if you know, but in the old cars, they have the big black canister with all the vacuum hose coming out. I didn't want all that junk in there. Not only that, I did away with my my wheel wells, which is where all of that, where the canister, the vacuum canister is housed at. So I learned that secondary gas line that comes from the gas tank all the way back up to the front, which normally connects to a canister that sits in the car. I wanted to do away with that. So I learned that if you just put a filter on top of it, it'll work just as well. So it's called a vaporized line or something like that. Y'all can look it up. But what happens is the fumes that come out of the gas tank run back up to the canister, it filters it out and then runs it back into the motor, and it's able to be burnt off. So I was able to run my gas line and run it up to the front, and you can see it sticking up right here. I just don't have the filter on it. I may show y'all what it looks like today. It's just a little bitty filter, a little blue filter on it. And it just allows the fumes to run off of the gas tank and then run out through the filter. So. Y'all remember what I said about not needing no jack stands or jack? This is what I mean. I'm just able to slide up under here. I'm just gonna show y'all my my homemade brake and gas line I did. Because there's a lift on this, I had to make this little aluminum piece to set my brake line on, because it has to have, when the car bounces up and down, it has to have room for it to travel. So I had to make this little piece, because if I didn't, this brake line would have been way down here and it would have snatched out. So I had to make that piece. I fabricated that piece myself, and this is my my brake line job, which, you know, this shit is real hard to bend, by the way. It looks easy, but it's not. And that crimping tool only did so much. So I eventually ended up just doing it by hand, because I wasn't able to get that fine bend on it. So I just did this. And like I said, I'm gonna eventually switch all this out. When I change this rear end, I'm eventually and do a new brake upgrade. I'm gonna do it all over, so it doesn't matter. It works right now. There's no leaks or nothing. I actually did a good job. I'm proud of it. Now here's my my gas line. I didn't want to have to bend these, so I kept these pieces. There was nothing wrong with them. It's the actual gas line, and then the vapor line that runs all the way to the front. I'm going to show y'all that. But here's the vapor line right here. This line sits on the driver's side, and it runs all the way up to the front. I'll show y'all where it sits at. And then here's the actual gas line that feeds the gas to the motor. But it's all new lines right there. All goes all the way up. Goes up there. But here's the new brake line and the vapor line is tied together. It goes all the way up. Oh shit. All right, now here's the brake line that I ran to the calipers. Got all that set up. Now here's the vapor line that I was telling y'all about right here. This is the vapor line that runs all the way back from the gas tank, and you just put a little filter on it, and that does away with the canister, the vacuum canister that normally sits right here. And there's my gas line right here that I ran, brand new gas line. So after I got all the lines ran, the brake lines, gas line, the fuel vapor line ran up to the top with the filter on it. Obviously I went ahead and hooked everything up, all the brakes up. Didn't put no fluid or nothing in it. I didn't want no fluid in the car until I got the motor running, but I had to start prepping the body to get ready to get set back down on the frame. So I got it set up on jack stands and some blocks. I wanted to get it up pretty high because at the back of the back of the frame, there is a higher point of it that has to clear all the way back, because I slid it from the front all the way back to be able to set it back down there. So I raised it up pretty high as I could get it with my jack stands and the blocks that I had. Once I felt like I got it high enough to be able to slide the frame back up under it, I had to do a combination of the hoist, where you know how I use the hoist to pull the body off of the frame. I had to do a combination of jacking the frame up to the body and using the hoist at the same time. The hoist I couldn't really use that much because it swung a little bit, so it wasn't allowing me to line the body bushings back up. So I basically had to just keep jacking the frame up. I had 2 different jacks, and I just kept jacking the frame up till it got high enough, and released the hoist down on it. It was a mess. I was scared, and I had to get up underneath it at times. So I eventually got I'm not gonna say all of them. I think 4 body bushings linked in and connected at 4 points of the car. And once I knew the frame was held on by the body bushings, I lowered it all back down. I'm gonna get up underneath there and show y'all the body bushings that I had to put on there. So this is one of them that I set on here. The first one that I connected after I dropped lowered the body down. And then there's some one right here. I don't know if I can get up there and show y'all, but it sits right there. So there's one right there, and then there's one on the other side right there. So I connected these 2 first, these 2 back here, and then the 2 up front. And then once I lowered the body down on the frame completely, where I seen that like this one right here, the body bushing smashed. Once I seen that, it was all downhill. All I had to do was get up underneath her and bolt them all back down. And you have to torque them. I can't remember the specs on it, but I torqued them to the right specs. And there's one right here. Did I miss one? Oh. Yeah, and then this one, this sits right under here. And then of course the 2 on the radiator core support, which I'll show y'all those later. But yeah, I got those locked down, and it was done. Like the body was back on there. Body bushings was tight. That was it. This ain't a sonata. I want it all, the whole enchilada. I'll bury you like cucarachas. Akuna Matata. Stop lying, king. I've been a Mufasa. You want Carlos with my nigga. You got him to solve. Grown Simba flow. And yeah, these niggas know my flow is cold like Timberlow. In the winter on December 4th. I'm just blacking out. Got the game in the figure 4 until it's tapping out. Yeah, what you yapping about? I'm back to that action, pal. Lights, cameras.